Mic check 1, 2. 1. 1 to the 2. That sounds a little better. That sounds way more like it actually. We here, man. Doing this on a Father's Day. It's a good day out here. Beautiful sunny skies, beautiful weather, all that good stuff. Mic check sounds good. We let the seats fill up for a second and we get right into it. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Father's Day, everybody. All right, for starters. Okay. It's your host, Ace Will, a.k.a. Mr. Smoke. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Right? Yeah. Let's see who we got in the house today. Let me introduce my lovely co-host, Roni. Unmute yourself, sister. How you doing? Unmute. Hold on. Let me get you right here. Unmute.
There we go.
Yeah. It's good. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. How's everything?
Well, like you said, today is a beautiful day outside. Hey, everyone out there. Hope you enjoyed your Father's Day.
Yeah. Let's get it in. Let's see who else we got in the building. Kimmy Kali Powers. What's up, Kimmy? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How y'all doing?
Hey, Kimmy Kali.
Yep. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Yes.
Salute to the fathers in the house, man.
Salute to the fathers.
How you doing, Kimmy? Thank you for joining us.
I'm great. How y'all doing?
Everything is good. Speaking of fathers, let's see who else we got in the building.
Oh,
Unmute
Lord.
yourself, my friend.
This fool dancing already.
Dance in the house.
What up?
Happy Father's Day, my man. What's good?
Happy Father's Day.
Kimmy Kelly, how you doing? T-Roni, how you doing? Ace World, what's going on? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Any man that's trying to be a father, the first thing you got to do is fix yourself before you have a child, so they got it in their head already in the first damn place, instead of letting these kids walking around with no type of sense and obeying people and not thinking on their damn own. Big ups to all the fathers who are there. Big ups to the stepfathers, grandfathers, godfathers, all of y'all. Any man looking out for the kids, this is our day. If you ain't looking out for the kids, we got our eyes on your ass. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's facts. We're gonna start off with one of those early.
Bomb on the motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you already saying.
That started early. Okay, man, we gotta be hyped. We gotta, it's Father's Day. You know,
right.
Happy Father's Day, Tony D.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
No time to shine out here. You know what I'm saying? That's what it do. So rolling into it. Today's exciting episode of Sunday Night Smoke. Let's see what we got in the bag. Okay. Usually we do a Father's Day, but we're gonna do I'm gonna do a Father's Day tribute live later on Instagram. Okay. I'm gonna do an IG live later on this evening. So for those that do not follow Sunday Night Smoke Podcast, the name is the same on Instagram. Please follow. We'll be doing a special live. And I'll have some special fathers on the panel, and we'll just chop it up about the importance of having fathers in the lives of young boys. Okay. And as far as young girls too, but for the majority, we got to mold these boys.
Fathers that passed away, foster fathers, uncles.
Yeah. So today's episode is, because I definitely wanted to get the Father's Day shout out before we roll into it, because it's not a Father's Day episode, all right? But we'd had to definitely salute to the fathers out there, all of the other people mentioned. So let's go. Today we have the New Liberal Encyclopedia. Okay. Every week we have a New Liberal Encyclopedia. The New Liberal American Encyclopedia. Okay. So what that is okay. Let's go into what this is. What is this defined as? Because I saw something interesting, an interesting post on Instagram the other day, right? And I want to shout out Get Real. I want to shout out Get Real. I don't remember the exact handle, but Get Reals. I'm subscribed to him, and we met up on Haps, I believe. Get Reals has posts a lot of good stuff. You know, that'll get you a little food.
Get Real. Yeah. He got kicked off. I tried to subscribe to him on Instagram. They said his account's got like warnings on it.
Wow. Well, big up to Big Real. Yo, shout out.
I know Get Real. And if Get Real see this, he already know. You found me, son. You know I'm looking for you. Get your ass up.
But actually, I'll follow Get Real, right? Mm-hmm. And hold on, allergies. Let me sneeze real quick. Let me just mute the mic for a second. Okay, all right. That was quick. That in English?
It sounds like it's Klingon.
Yeah, man. So I seen an interesting post. So and it's funny because I had this same conversation several times with several different people, right? So the concept of this is, where did some of these new words we're hearing all of a sudden come from? So we'll run through some of them and give me your idea of like what it should mean, what the purpose of it was, what the intentions of this just and coming up with this word, even like what
okay. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Give me 1 second. Hang tight. Let me pull it up. Hold on.
What you cooking over there?
Me. Gotta I'm sure you got the bottom side of it. I'm about to put that steak.
I was about to say, you know, it's got to be steak.
Let me do this steak.
Steak, man. Big up to cooking and streaming at the same time. This is
big up to multitasking.
There you go.
Now he's actually allowed to eat the food now.
Thank you, sir.
He cooked it. That was the rule.
Yeah, because he didn't cook the joint. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the 10 Halves commandments. You got to follow the laws of the game up in here, boy.
But it's a new platform, so it's new commandments, right?
Yeah, we're working it.
Those old ones are out the window.
I'm just saying, though.
Okay.
So let's get into this now. Okay, have you guys ever heard the term democratic socialism before? Democratic socialism.
You say yes, but I don't remember what it was.
It's two different. That sounds like two. I haven't heard it together. I've heard it two separate words, but not together. What's the meaning?
Well, I don't have the meaning. That's what I'm trying to figure out the meaning of some of these words.
Well, let's look it up, shall we?
So let's see.
Define
democratic socialism. Is there a difference? Oh, the question is, right? Because I have the chart in front of me, what everything kind of equates to, but I'm just playing the game. Like, let's try to figure out what this really is. All right.
What's the definition?
What the reality of it is, because remember, somebody can come up with something, right? Yeah. Because they don't really like what one thing is. Okay, so let's get back to that. For example, you know what? Let's get back to that because that's a little complicated to start the game off with that, right?
Okay, because I have the definition.
You have it already? So let's roll in. Let's rock and roll.
Wiki says democratic socialism is a political philosophy that supports political democracy and some form of a socially owned economy, with particular emphasis on economic democracy, workplace democracy, and workers' self-management. Yada, yada, yada. There's a whole bunch of other terminologies within it. embedded in there.
Cool.
It says it can be traced back to the 19th century socialist thinkers across Europe and Chartist movement in Britain.
Okay, there you go. So basically, if anybody that's thinking about that, and it's maybe a little bit to unpack, just coming off the rip like that.
That was
That basically equates to socialism.
yes. Well, there's a line here that says, while having socialism as a long-term goal, some moderate democratic socialists are more concerned with curbing capitalism's excesses and are supportive of progressive reforms to humanize it in the present day.
Oh boy, really?
And all I heard was wonk 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 wonk.
What I heard is socialism. That's what it is.
So
Saying right, that's the answer. Wowzers!
it sounds like nobody owns anything. Like
Yeah, kind of like yeah, which
the
is
socialism part
opposite of what America is pretty much based on, as far as free opportunity, and each of us have the ability to come up with something to make $1 million for the most part. Or we're talking about something where we're managing, because I heard the term excessive capitalism.
Excessive capital, so that there wouldn't be any rich, right? It would be
So I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. So there wouldn't be any rich people.
rich. There's no, in a cap, because that would be excessive capitalism. People who are like uber billionaires.
Okay. So for those that are, big up to them. Okay. And for those that me that aren't, big up to me too. Okay. But I'm not mad at them because they worked harder than me and they were smarter than me, man. That's why they money longer. They figured out something that I didn't. So I shouldn't be trying to regulate their money. So that's kind of what socialism is to this extent from this definition. And I'm not going pound for pound because this is opinion radio. Okay.
It is. Yeah.
So this is my opinion on this. I'm not going with pure pound for pound facts here. Okay.
No, we wanted to look at the definition. If Eleanor was here, she'd be like, okay, this is what it says.
I but maybe she's busy. Maybe she's busy.
She is out with her mom for dinner. She had a rough week. I did talk to her earlier. I will let her know. But I'm gonna give her some time, and I'll tell her to check this out afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I had her in the DM, so I figured she was occupied. So it's all good, man. Big up to Eleanor Marie. Hopefully, everything is a little smoother.
Yes.
So this week, happy Sunday. Sunday heals everything, right?
Yes.
Oh man, we're moving over here. Happy Sunday. Oh, so let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
Toxic masculinity.
I've heard this terminology.
Is there a picture of Tony D right next to that definition?
When I hear something like that, I think of the fist bump pumpers, like tiny shirts. Like,
oh boy.
And they call each other bro, what up, bro?
Rolled up sleeve t-shirts, like a pack of cigarettes rolled up in your sleeve, like the Fonz back in the days.
Oh my gosh, you did not go there.
What are we fucking here with this? Toxic masculinity.
The concept of toxic masculinity is used in academic and media discussions of masculinity to refer to certain cultural norms that are associated with harm to society and men themselves. That's a bunch of you punk ass broadcasters out there. Traditional stereotypes of men as socially dominant, along with related traits such as misogyny and homophobia, can be considered toxic, due in part to their promotion of violence, including sexual assault and domestic violence. Let me jump in on this shit if you all don't motherfucker. I want a piece of this.
It's Father's Day.
All right, cool.
Let
me think first.
Since you done busted out with the straight up flat on textbook thing.
No, because we're reading them. Yeah, we pulling it up right online live. Mm-hmm.
It's not right next to it, so my bad, dude. I was just fucking with you. Okay.
Ladies first. I'm gonna get you.
So check it out. First, before T, let me what's the name of this? So toxic masculinity. Okay, so before I guess whatever year that this word was created, because they don't have created dates next to these things, do they? You look that up, Tony. They don't have the date that this was created, because before they used to just be femininity, masculinity. Right?
Originated in the mythopoetic men's movement of the 1980s and 90s.
So this just came about in the 80s and 90s. So this is like some new poet society shit, right?
Yeah.
Did I say it? I was like,
more interested in stuff going. Holy shit. Wow. So this
Party
is late
rockers in the house tonight.
yo, bro, what a bro.
Bro.
So that's what so check, this is crazy. So this is so all right, so that's late 80s, early 90s. Okay. So that's the new that can become part of the new liberal encyclopedia because it qualifies. Because, right? Think about it. Before it used to just be masculinity. That was before certain words, right? Because that used to be like, macho man. Like, the not the literal, but as in a macho individual, machismo, like a man's man. Like, the guy that works at the construction site. You know what I mean? The guy that works at the construction site. He's not necessarily the shirt and tie guy. And I'm not saying that and listen to what I'm saying now. No disrespect. Okay. I'm not putting everybody in one basket. So anytime I'm saying this is just you generalize things like this.
You're a sympathizer.
Okay. Exactly. Oh, that's gonna be part of it too. Damn it, come on, you're jumping the gun. But it's all good. Mine's thinking like this is all new shit here. So the macho man, the old school guy, the man's man, the sports car, the muscle car, the motorcycle guy, the guy that can.
That's toxic. I think what Tony defined, or the toxicity comes when you use your masculinity to overpower others, right? That's when it becomes toxic.
Okay, and it didn't necessarily say overpower physically, did it?
No, I don't mean physically. I mean like it's like homophobia.
Impose your will or some shit, or no. Continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, T-Ron.
Is there toxic femininity?
Yes.
Yes, but I'm gonna make sure that makes the dictionary. Yeah, that's gonna make the encyclopedia also.
Because some of the men are doing it too, bitches. Go ahead, man.
It's a thin line between toxic femininity and simping. That's another story. But check it out. So my thing is, since somebody decided, right? Because before all of these years, masculinity existed as a single word. Somebody decided that they didn't like masculine things, whatever they decided or whatever their definition of what they felt masculine was, okay? Mm-hmm. Their opinion of it, they didn't like it. So they decided to change the word in the late 80s, early 90s and put toxic in front of it. Because you can't just be masculine. Because anything that's masculine now is toxic.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Now we're attaching a label to something. Do you understand? Does that make sense? What I'm saying, everybody?
I don't know. I kind of disagree.
Okay. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? Because I see the word metamorphosize in front of my very eyes.
As a female, I wouldn't say everybody that is masculine is toxic masculine. I wouldn't say, like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't generalize, but that's just me. I don't know. If you find that, I can expect that.
If you're looking at it from the point of view where you wanted to add a prefix to the word and change it, yes. But if you're somebody that didn't have any problem with quote unquote masculine or whatever is deemed as being masculine, it's fine. So that's just food for thought. Like we're trying to just I'm trying to these words. Yeah, it's food for thought.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be like, what the hell? Who the hell? Where did this shit come from? So y'all are on point right now.
Please speak, Tony D, because look on your face is just
I'm turning it over right now. So we can't really
Let's hear from the fathers for fathers.
Right.
What is this toxic masculinity?
Yeah, he looked it up. So let's hear it, Tony D. What you got?
I want to thank you for telling me to wait because you actually helped me just now. You don't even know it. I'm gonna just tell you this. Let's go through the definition.
Let's go for it.
Let's go through this one more time if you all don't mind, because I want to break it down. The concept of toxic masculinity is used in academic and media discussions of masculinity to refer to certain cultural norms that are associated with harm to society and men themselves.
Stop right there.
Go ahead.
Break down that first part right there, because it's a lot to unpack. So that first few sentences you laid out right there.
From
academic and media discussions
academia
of masculinity to refer to certain cultural norms that are associated with harm to society and men themselves. Now, that's the thesis. That's going to be the original statement, and they're going to break it down as they go through. Traditional stereotypes of men as socially dominant. This is true, along with related traits such as misogyny and homophobia. We have to agree on that. Anybody at my age, this is true, can be considered toxic due in part to their promotion of violence, including sexual assault and domestic violence. I'm stopping right there, and I need your leeway on this. Please forgive me.
Go ahead.
Real men do not designate sexual assaults against another man to have to be dominant. They do that to make sure that you know that they're dominant, and it is your job to beat their ass so that they don't. We're going to stop that shit right down there. Because I could already see where that conversation would go just from that definition alone. That's what was catching my attention. There is a very big problem with men having sex with others as domination or submission. The old school heterosexuals, which the fuck I am, we don't play that shit. You don't have sex with another man. Choice, though. If you choose that life, then cool. But the old school us, nah, we ain't even looking. See, you don't go to jail on purpose because you know it's going to fucking happen to you when you get in there. See, y'all little knuckleheads. Let me keep going because I'm about to start talking about shit. The socialization of boys in patriarchal societies often normalizes violence, such as in saying boys will be boys about bullying and aggression. That is absolutely true.
The whole theory of boys will be boys.
Yes,
right?
Boys will be boys. But gentlemen, all men out there, there was a step of masculinity we are going to have to take in order to better the heterosexual male community, because I don't care what nobody says, we are under attack. Bullying has to fall back some, a whole lot.
Well, we're going to get into that next. The next, you know what?
Okay. I'll wait. I wanted to drop those honestly, but the sexual aggression against others, the sexual assault, all men have to stop that shit. Every motherfucking male has to stop that shit, period.
We did
Nobody won't believe us.
But remember, women too. Also,
we did an episode where we had a past episode where we had a video of men condoning sexual violence against women, right? In the video, saying that I won't say like in that sense. They made it. They had a justification.
We weren't endorsing it. We were discussing it, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that could be considered a form of toxic masculinity.
The way that definition looks.
Or is it?
Any type of assault, whether it's sexual or you just going upside somebody's head, according to the definition. Remember, because it said anything to do with violence, anything violent associated. Okay.
Domestic violence, yes. And domestic violence is a very broad definition. Now, men are going to fight, men are going to be violent. We're not going to stop men from being violent because that's just how we are. And that's a way of proving yourself. You got to fight a motherfucker.
Sometimes you do.
You have to fight a motherfucker. It's not necessarily about any and everything, but dudes will sometimes fight for fun.
But it's toxic. According to the new definition now.
Some of the way these punk ass broadcasters run their mouth up here is toxic masculinity. You try to out-talk somebody's masculinity to minimize them in the eyes of everyone else. That is toxic masculinity to me. I crack with dudes. I joke with dudes. I always tell people, we said this on Haps a lot. I know we keep bringing it up. I apologize, but damn it, I mean it. We fuck with each other, but we have no intentions of offending each other. Some of you have every intention to offend people. That is toxic masculinity. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead, bro. I got to flip my face.
You're on fire. I see the flame. I see the flame.
Flip that thing, man. So go ahead, Kimmy, go for it.
But it was like there were a few different guys that were on the whole Hap space.
Craps.
Like
Oh,
the
preps.
crap.
Yeah, preps.
Did I do that wrong? I did that
Okay.
wrong. Sorry.
Right. No, it's okay. But it was a lot of them that was on there that, to me, they were being very toxic in regards to homophobic
Yes.
things that they were saying to men
Yes.
on the broadcast. And I
Yes.
just was like, oh my gosh, it's like, this is not good. And I did, it's really sad that that, well, I'm sure women are like that too, but we were talking about the male part. But I just think that it's really sad because it's not only offensive to other people, but it's also offensive to whoever's broadcast it was. And people think that it's okay, and it's not okay.
Facts. We're gonna slide on to the next topic. Good conversation, folks. This is good conversation. This is a
Give
grown
me some of that
folk.
steak.
You know what I'm saying?
Medium well, please.
You gonna be mad at me because I'm cooking this bad boy.
Oh, you butchering the. Okay, sorry.
Brian on you, Tony D.
You can cook it how you want. It's Father's Day.
All right, yeah. So gotta live. So let's go to the next one. This is funny because this is somewhat biased.
You're starting out that way. Oh my God, this is.
We're gonna go to the list that what it equals here, but I'm not reading the answers. I'm not reading the answers. We're just coming up with our own opinion on what these terms mean. Okay. So I'm not saying what I'm saying. I have a chart in front of me.
Just tell us.
But no. I'm just saying because the chart is just someone's opinion also. Because remember, it's opinion radio, and that's what we do here, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
So let's rock and roll. Next is assault weapon.
Say that one more time.
Assault weapon.
Okay.
Is that a liberal? I mean, that's not so much a liberal terminology.
What does it mean, Roni? It doesn't necessarily have to mean liberal. This you got to add a little.
Oh, okay, because the title.
Yeah, go ahead. Assault weapon. Yeah. What is assault weapon to you? The name of an assault weapon.
The AR-15.
Yep, AR-15.
Okay.
AK-47.
Okay.
Something that you're not using just for game, right? Like there's certain weapons that is used for hunting, right?
Okay. Like a rifle.
Right. And then there's some weapons you use to kill people. Like it's specifically designed. You're not gonna kill people.
A gun is specifically designed to kill people. Any gun, a 22, a rifle.
No, some guns are for hunting. You gotta hunt with a gun.
But I said assault rifle though. Okay. I mean,
but when you say assault weapon, what that triggers into my head is armed forces, all the semi-automatics, the automatic guns, whatever, the AR-15s, the AK-47s, and all that stuff. That's what that signals off to me. And to me, it's just like, okay, that's for the army. I don't understand why regular everyday people are being allowed to get a hold of those dangerous guns. They ain't in the military. You should only be using that in the military. For war. You should not be allowed, even if you were in the military, you should not be allowed to purchase that unless you're actually in the service and you're going to keep it on the base or on whatever that you guys are going off to world war to, you know what I'm saying? So,
Tony D.
What's up?
What's your take on that term?
Assault weapons. Assault weapons are the weapons that go after more than one person, pretty much. I did a broadcast on gun laws about that.
Yes, you did.
A week and a half ago. They broke it down, terminology, specifications, and everything. Let me just give a general from my aspect, not necessarily referring to what I read. Assault weapons are your automatic weapons. Nobody needs automatic weapons unless you're going up against an army or a group of people that you can't handle. Now, I understand why some people have them in some areas because some people are going up against groups of people on the regular. We do have to acknowledge that. But for the average mofo to have one, they are not. They're out somewhere just waiting. The original gun law states that you can defend the state. Nobody has a right to tell you that you cannot defend yourself or the state. You can have a gun. And if we have to go to war, we're glad you got one, so we ain't got to furnish you one because we won't need the ones who got in the first damn place to go ahead and get yours right there now.
I'll be at your house.
Yeah. So my whole thing is, as I read the definition and I looked at it, as much as the Second Amendment says you have the right to bear arms, firearms comes to a different level. And the damage you do with the fire alarm is consequential, and they will prosecute you for it. So to me, I have no reason to have a gun if you're going to put me in jail, even though it's my civil liberty, and you can't tell me not to have a gun, but you can lock me up for what I do with the damn gun. It don't make no sense for me to have one because you're going to get me.
Yeah.
That's what we tell people. I don't have a gun. I don't buy guns for decoration. If I buy a gun, I'm gonna use a motherfucker. That's first and goddamn foremost. I'm not putting it up in their wall looking like Rosewood on Beverly Hills Cop. All them bullets getting used. All them guns getting used. And everybody, listen, I keep 35 people in my head. I don't have a gun on purpose. The minute I buy one, they're gonna be watching. Here he go. They're gonna track every step, everybody I'm around, whatever vehicle I'm in. I don't care if it's a 2020 or an 1860 with no GPS on it. They're gonna know I did it.
Enemy of the state. Tell me. It's good to have a weapon in the home for just to prevent anything bad going on in case of home invasion in the event of that's just want to grow on just for everybody out there. Always consider that. Just for protection is keeping the house in the event
So
of
what about concealed carry? I mean, I know this is very off topic and I'm
real quick. Go ahead. Go for it.
Concealed carry laws. I mean, like it's legal in the United States to have a concealed firearm. So you can go to Denny's with your firearm.
Facts.
And have it hidden
because
you feel like it, because it's your American right to go to Denny's or go to Walmart, which is where we see them the most, at Walmart.
Used to. Walmart took them down. When you get a chance, go back and look. If you'll see air guns, you'll see BB guns.
No, I'm not talking about sold. I'm talking about concealed carry.
Concealed carry. Like people just
walking around the store with them. I thought you meant
they in their shit. Yeah, Denny's, Walmart, anywhere.
Yeah.
Hey man, if it's legal in the state, go for it, man. Okay, so I'm gonna just pretty much put an umbrella over this.
Okay.
Because an assault can be committed by any form of a gun. Because if the term automatic was used, you have handguns automatic. Okay, so that falls automatic, right? Automatic falls into the category. So assault weapon is any gun. Okay, I'm just gonna because
a ghost gun could be. The whole purpose of a ghost gun is to be concealed, right? That's definitely is not used to hunt deer.
It's an assault weapon. Facts. So an assault weapon is any gun. Okay, just
I will justify an assault weapon against. I will justify an assault weapon against a bear because a pistol is not going to stop a bear. I know a couple people that hunt bear. They said, "No, you got to knock it down a couple of times with a 45."
Yeah, that's true.
So there's some big animal, big game hunters. I will give you that.
You better have something that got hammer action, bro.
You need something that's going to have.
I'm saying hammer action, like
shot impact. They say you shoot a bear in the head, it's still coming. First of all, I don't know what
I ain't fucking with that. I'm gonna leave that for another way.
How about I'll be around bears?
I ain't fucking with that. I'm a city slicker.
Me too.
I didn't want to get too far off topic, so I just had to throw that shit out there. All right, so let's continue. Let's see what else we got here on this. This is gonna be crazy. Identify as.
I can't with you.
The term identify as. Look that up for me, please.
Identify as?
Yeah. You ever heard that term?
Yes.
Like somebody can be something, but
I identify as gender fluid.
Or sometimes you can identify
someone or oneself as something. A noun or pronoun can be used between identify and as. The guy on the security camera is a camera after all. Somebody in the next block identified him as one of their neighbors. If you don't identify yourself, okay, that's just classify or label someone or yourself as something. Now that is a civil liberty that I think people aren't paying attention to. A lot of people are identifying themselves as who they want to be and gaining their sovereignty off of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it has gained a lot of momentum.
Yes.
I would say in the last century, or maybe decade. What do you think?
Decade.
Century, 100 years, decade. Okay. So let's say in the last decade. It's 10 years. I feel like that's too close. Maybe.
Okay. Whatever you want it to be. Decades, whatever. 50 years, 80 years. 100 years, who cares? Put a number on it. What does number?
Came into the use of it has been flourishing. So is that is it a so how the definition has it? It is technically like a transitive verb. That's what it's saying. But
Right.
now has it become a noun? Has it become a a different?
You tell me. You can only make this. You can't make this shit up. Well, actually, you can't make this shit up because that's what's happening. Identify has a whole different meaning. I identify as not. I identify as the suspect that robbed the bank. No, I'm single, straight, white male, but I identify as soul brother number one, the black guy.
Yes.
I identify as whatever the fuck I want to identify as, according to the
would that be the same
as delusional or
no, I mean, hold on. In your two analogies where you said I identify as the criminal, you identify as a person.
That's no more.
Rick Costa, what's going on, Rick?
Rick, one of our proud sponsors. What's good, Rick? Thanks for joining.
I identify as the what did you say? The chocolate brother from
Soul Brother number one.
Soul Brother number one. Because you are pronouncing yourself. This is who I am. I'm the criminal, and this is who I want to be. Or I am Soul Brother number one. This is who I am. Love me, live me, right?
Yes.
But how does this shit stand up legally? Is the question. Sometimes it's really weird. Like so if I'm feeling, because I understand like if you're filling out a legal document, for example, right? You have from what I understand, this is a new thing that's introduced, like from a business.
You were talking about that the other night. You talked about that the other night. I was just going to bring that up too. Yep.
Yeah. And I don't want to get too deep into it. I don't want anybody to be offended. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we do here sometimes accordingly. So I'm just saying. So check it out. So I want to identify as
number one,
Bill Gates, just for the money.
Here's the kicker: what you just said.
I want to identify as him.
You got to be original without taking something from anybody else. That's the trick to it.
Is that that's the?
Where is your originality in your new identification?
He is him as being Bill Gates. He is the
but there already was a Bill Gates. There already was.
Okay, so let me take Jane Doe. There's a lot of Jane Does out there. So one Jane Doe, next Jane Doe, next Jane Doe. So like you are that because you claim it to be.
How do you be more original and not take something somebody else was? That's the kicker. See, a lot of these people who are getting a lot of this leeway, they came up with something brand new, different, and original, and they're winning. You can't be a copycat because you'll be sued. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
I guess you can't. Yeah, but I'm just like trying to figure out who, what, where, when, and why. Like who gives these people these the like. I want to start some new words, right?
Look what. I've been working on it. I keep this shit going.
How do these words? Let's tackle one more, and then let's get into how did this shit gain traction? Like, how does this become applicable in everyday life? And how could I put this tag on you now? All of a sudden. So for example, we'll take the one that was made up in the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Okay. That was
toxic masculinity, for example. We'll take that. This was made up by somebody that didn't like anything masculine and said, we'll put a prefix on it. Let's throw toxic on it. So now, right? Who gives them the power to say, hey man, listen, hey, we got to make this stick. Right? We're going to make this stick. Right? So we can just throw that label on you now if we don't like your quote unquote masculine ways. So who gives these people the authority to make this possible, right?
You know what? I think it happens how it happens. One person uses it and then somebody heard it and then somebody else used it. And I feel like that's how, through the rumor mill, is how it gains traction. It's kind of like a new saying.
I think it's bigger than that. It's bigger than just a slang term. It's much bigger than that. But
that's how they all begin. They, right now, people are using slang terms as like they're in the dictionary, right?
Copy.
So
But who gives the authority to put that in there? Who says that's a
all,
good
the,
look?
all the Karens and the Bills in the world.
I thought King was with Karen, but whatever. We'll take a bill.
Soccer moms.
Nah, don't disrespect my money. Dollar bill. We're gonna go with Ken and Karen. All right, so let's move on to one more real quick. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Undocumented.
I mean, your papers just ain't right, dude. You ain't got nothing to document that you are who you are.
What do you?
Isn't everybody documented? When you're born, you're documented. Like, it don't matter if you're not from this country, you are documented somewhere in some existence.
Not necessarily though, because if you think about some of the people that were born in the South way back then, they was writing it on stone tablets, and if the stone tablet blew away, then hey, you were there, but don't nobody know when you was born.
That is true. There's a lot of plans out there too, where they just having babies and kids, and they not registering the kids because they'll take the babies to the hospital. So you got a point.
Yeah, it did. Like, that's more modern. The documentation.
We would hope that
people would say undocumented. What do you think, Tony D?
His face, oh boy, here you go.
No, undocumented is too broad. It's entirely too broad. If you can't prove it, it's undocumented. If you don't have proof of it, then it's still going to get questioned. So undocumented is entirely too broad to me. And honestly, a lot of the
individual, as an person,
well, even on information and facts, it's too broad of a topic. It really is a broad topic because, first of all, half of what's documented is only what they allowed you to know in the first damn place. We'll be here all day on that. So that's just, we'll be here all day. I'm not even, undocumented means you can't prove it, or it's not written, and since it ain't written, you can't prove it, don't talk about it. Kiss my ass on that shit, because people talk about what they believe in and what they've researched, and half of that shit is a lie too, so I don't want to hear it. Let's get our facts, let's get what we're taught, let's put them together, draw our own conclusion. Document it. That's what the hell they did.
Yeah. Your papers ain't right.
I don't know. I gotta throw something in there with this undocumented. I feel like nowadays Americans have used that terminology to specify people from other countries. They completely documented in their country, but because they're here as refugees or what do you call them? As DACAs, they use that terminology to encompass. It's like that. The word has been overused now, and it's made into a derogatory sense.
It's been redefined. Undocumented. Undocumented. Let's see what undocumented will probably translate to. Somewhat like illegal, because undocumented kind of is a word now that is kind of attached to someone that's not a citizen of the United States, quote unquote, legal citizen of the United States. For the most part, I'm just looking through this thing. I don't make the rules.
That's my opinion. I feel like the terminology has been used in order to slander others.
That's exactly what it is. They're trying to disprove whatever you say. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law, especially if it's undocumented. You are correct. It is used to slander you. It is used to discredit you. That is the truth. I feel that, and I see that a lot. I think people have a hard enough time proving me wrong on that statement than proving themselves right, and somebody doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
But Tony D, you were right though when you said the whole term undocumented is really, really broad, because if you actually think about it, if you get ready to go and sell your car and you don't have a registration or a title to it,
that is something very specific.
And as far as person wise, not as far as property wise, as far as the term undocumented. I'm sorry I didn't clarify that to begin with.
No, you good.
Okay. I mean, but you have a point, Kimmy Kali, because if I hear undocumented from, let's say, a Karen, if a Karen tells me, oh, that person's undocumented, oh, well, he could be talking about his car. In my brain, I'm thinking they're talking about their car or their house or something. It may not trigger like the definition that they're being slanderous of a person right away.
Exactly. It may take a technique because it depends on the application. Now, remember, this is not a debate. Remember, this is we're just putting some general information out there.
Right. No. But
know.
since you're saying that it was specifically in regards to a person or people, and
Yeah.
because Ronnie, you were saying it's been so overly used. For me, if somebody says undocumented, I'm looking for the INS. I'm looking for ICE. Who about
Wow, you looking for all the feds. You can't just
yeah.
you
I'm
trying
just
to call
saying,
them
dog.
in.
I'm just saying. She
They
figured out.
put
Let me
you
get
here as a DACA. You ready to call the feds on them.
I was speaking on basically a lot of conversations and a lot of proof and information that people have when we speaking on topics. I was on that aspect of it because I hear that a lot. I put undocumented along the terms of when people say misinformation. If you can't prove it, it can't be true and it can't be facts. I challenge anybody on that. I know
you.
what
I
you
was
all were saying
looking
is
like
called the style
personal.
of concrete. Yes. What she said with the vehicle, you can't trade it, you can't sell a vehicle unless you got the damn title. Then you got to get it notarized on the bill. You got to have a bill of sale and all that crap. You can't buy a car unless you have this, all those. But when we had these conversations up here, a lot of people like, well, where's your facts? Where's your proof? The problem I have is when you give them the proof of the facts, then they challenge what you got. But if I challenge yours, because you get a higher education, you're going to be damn mad at me.
You're like, Johnny, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna clap.
Stop me if I go too far. And I'm just speaking on my aspect of what I've gone through.
Go for it, man. You got the floor.
Honestly, it's a lot of that. One thing I don't do when people talk, when we have conversations and we talk globally, we speak from our experience. We speak from the information that we have. What I can't stand is when somebody said, that's some bullshit because their website it doesn't have the credentials my website has. Fuck your website because somebody paid for them to have them goddamn credentials. So who's telling the truth subliminally and underlying more than in capital letters with this signature on the side? That's why I compare notes. I'm not going to shit on what the information that you have because none of us went to the same high school, elementary, junior high, college, or had the same work experience. We may have read the same book. We're going to interpret it differently. That's why you got to put your notes together and then come together as a community instead of staying divided with your selfish asses. But go ahead.
There you go.
Sorry.
So good. Let's say I take undocumented, usually used as people who don't come here legally. Pretty much that's kind of what we was that's kind of what I was getting at.
That's another aspect. Yeah, I want to give them that too because that's a lot of what's going on in the U.S. See, that's society. Society has everybody thinking like that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of news about illegal immigrants, and I understand where he comes from. See, if you have a specific topic and he came in with that, the average broadcaster would have been like, that ain't what we're talking about. I'm going to need you to stay on focus and want to try to read your ass. I ain't got to read you. I understand where you're coming from. People don't want to do that shit on the internet, y'all. Boy, let me turn my steak. Hold on.
How many times? I got a question. How many fucking times do you turn a steak?
Right.
You 4 times.
Twice.
Every 5 minutes.
How many times?
It stays tender. Every 5 minutes.
Okay. Big up to every
thick steak.
Steak flipping in the house, man.
You know,
I was kind of getting that. We're gonna move on to the next one because I was just kind of getting at it on a personal, like the term. I didn't mean for that to stretch out so much, but I'm just like it was more so in the light of used as a undocumented individual. That's kind of what we were getting at in that instance. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Let's see what we got here.
This is good because it's like almost like okay, these are trigger words, right? Like.
Trigger words in the conversation to draw attention. They specify the trigger words to. I've seen it in a lot of conversations where it draws attention. They tend to use that word to try to shut you down, like you said, slanderous.
Yeah,
they use these words against you. So I'm enjoying this my damn self.
Check this one out, then.
Go for it.
Inequality.
Oh shit. Let's go.
No, that's. I don't know.
Let's look at the definition. Let's look at the definition.
Please do.
Pull it up, man. Pull it up. Fill it up, man. Let's do what we do. Since y'all already started the trend, we're gonna keep rocking. Pull it up.
To call that a liberal word is misleading because in totality, even though it is a liberal thinking.
I said I just labeled it that. It wasn't necessarily 100%
I understand.
each application.
But it in itself is about inequality of masses, right? Of whoever is not being paired equal. So it doesn't have, I don't know.
Continue. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony D. Go
You
ahead.
sure?
Yeah,
sure?
yeah, I'm ready for
I'm
you.
ready.
Yeah, I need this.
I just want to let you know. I'm ready.
I
Okay.
need this right now. Go ahead.
Inequality, difference in size, degrees, circumstances, etc. Lack of equality. That's a given. Now, did you notice? And I say this every time people come from their own perspectives. You went to racial equality automatically, didn't you?
Yes.
How many people were thinking gender inequality? How many
That's
people
like
were thinking? How many people were
so.
thinking?
It's usually.
How many people were thinking?
Hold on.
Is that my phone?
No,
Hello.
Nope.
no. You
Continue.
wouldn't.
Go ahead.
How many people were thinking wage inequality?
Right.
So let's go general to start it off first. What happened to Kimmy Collins? She dropped.
That may have been her. Maybe her battery was dying, so she had to
Gotcha.
switch out. Maybe. Mhm.
We got another definition. We're Merriam-Webster definition. The quality of being unequal or uneven, such as social disparity, disparity of distribution or opportunity, lack of evenness, the condition of being variable. An instance of being unequal, a formal statement of inequality between two quantities usually separated by a sign of inequality. We got that. That's mathematics. We got that. So when you speak inequality, there's a difference. There's an unjustified difference. One is more powerful than the other. The scales of balance are off.
Right.
Plain and simple. How many mental aspects from past experience or outside influence or news or social media hit everybody's head when you think about those definitions? And there you go.
Okay. I thought. Let me jump.
Yes.
I thought when I heard the word, I thought of
I like that, Rick. That's good.
economic. Okay. Let's see. I'll get to the comments. I'll get to that in a second. I thought of economic off rip. Okay. And this is when I was reading the list before I even looked at the other side of what their opinion was on what it really meant. Okay. Because I'm trying to keep this unbiased here. Right. Trying to get different views on this real quick. So I thought of it on an economic level. And it's funny because the answer was your money should be their money.
That's socialism.
Hey, listen, man. This all works in a circle. If that was on the chart, we covered that in the first part. So let's continue.
Your money should be their money.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it was like, remember, it's a joke. Remember, it's like a kind of a satirical.
Yeah. But when you say something like that, I know it's supposed to be, we all being lighthearted about it, and we are. But there's to some degree a seriousness in this, right? Because you put that out there, it's like, okay, and then you want to go to the next one. We can't just do that. Like, we got to talk about this. Like,
I thought we were talking about it, and I was the last one to go. Continue, y'all. You can keep going on. Keep going on that one.
I brought the definition down, and like I said,
go for it.
What mentality of inequality hits everybody in the conversation, in the chat, even people watching afterwards? When you look at the definition of inequality, what's the first thing that comes to your head?
Me, either racial or financial.
Racial. I was thinking gender because the biggest thing on the news, gender inequality is the biggest
thing.
Right
was thinking economics.
Yes.
Yeah. So we all coming from different angles.
Yes.
Which is beautiful.
There's a difference. The scales of balance are off. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
In whatever it is that you're thinking and whatever difference you see, the scales of balance are wages, sexism.
That's true.
Gender equality, homosexual versus heterosexual.
Yes.
And then the homosexuals, even some of the heterosexuals redefining themselves.
Yeah.
Everything.
Hey man, you can define yourself as whatever you identify as. God damn it! All right. So Rick Costa says, let me jump into the chat real quick.
Okay.
I'll use inequality in a sentence. Juneteenth makes some people uncomfortable because it reminds people of inequality. Okay,
that's a hell of a statement.
That's a pretty solid statement there, Rick.
It is supposed to make you uncomfortable for those who feel uncomfortable about it. This is the truth about American culture, and you know what? Feel like those who feel uncomfortable.
I want in after Smoke talks too. Go ahead, please.
Okay, go ahead, Smoke.
I feel a lot of ways about the Juneteenth. I didn't want to do too much into it, but we're just going to take one quick swipe at that. And that's a good comment there, Rick. Okay. So I feel uncomfortable with Juneteenth, not because of just the American culture and the slavery. Slavery existed in many different countries throughout history, throughout historic times. So they're not the only ones that, right? I understand that. But then certain countries gave reparations and felt like, hey, man, maybe we did something wrong and gave some form of payback, like that.
Cities gave reparations. Certain cities gave it. Yes.
Just generally speaking, something. So that's one statement altogether. But my thing is this: if you're going to have the holiday, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So the holiday. So if that's the case, if it's a holiday, why don't you only let the people that I quote unquote identify as
Mhm.
descendants of the victims of
Mhm.
the injustice
Mhm.
partake in the holiday?
Mhm.
Okay. Does that make sense to anybody?
I can understand where you're
Hey,
coming
folks,
from.
take your ass to work. Take your ass to work that day. You don't get the holiday because if your company participates in this, let's look through our human resources documented paperwork and see who identifies as what.
That
Where
would
you
be
identify as a
inequality.
Negro.
I need
Listen,
you on that.
would that be inequality? Or
That
I
did
need
would
you
you
be
on
because
that.
then
Give
you
me a
would
second,
have
T.
to.
Let me
let
give
me
you a
You
second.
would
I
have
apologize
to.
to you. I apologize. What he said, Juneteenth makes some people uncomfortable because it reminds people of inequality. That also includes the people who were treated unequal.
yes.
You're
And
not wrong.
and
That's
oh
we're not
man.
speaking on the position of power. And I had to pull that little mindset from when I watched The Time to Kill the other night. You got to think about what everybody's thinking about and then realize you're in the wrong aspect. We're talking about the victim, not you. You can't put yourself in a situation unless you've been here. So the people in power are uncomfortable. So are some of the people who are oppressed. This day can be more hurtful than it is a celebration. You can choose to honor. You can choose to worship. You can choose to acknowledge. But to some people who haven't gotten the right respect, reward,
Ooh,
all of that. It is very painful. So he is not wrong in what he's saying. Rick, I appreciate that. Now, Smoke, what you were saying the other day, specifically to the people that you can document right now. I said this last year. I'm going to say it again. They already know who the fuck we are. They've been tracking us since we fucking got here. They tracked everybody who was born and who they were given to as a family and who their descendants were. They know who the fuck we are. The problem is they ain't got
Social
the
security number, it'll tell you.
Yes, it's in
yeah,
there. It's
that's
more
true.
than that social security number, bro. It's more than that. It's more than that.
And as Rick alludes to right here, it says, remember, Juneteenth was made a holiday by Trump, not Biden. That's one to grow
Talk that
on.
shit. Because I'm gonna go ahead and that is wrong. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Oh, Rick, you lied. Oh, Rick, you
That's
do that
not.
no
That's
more.
Look it up real quick. Look it up real quick. Look it up. I'm just saying, look it up real quick because I heard the
So that it
proponent.
was passed.
I
It was
heard
presented. It was
yes,
presented in
presented by
terms.
Trump.
It
Presented
was
by Trump.
presented
It was
during
presented by
Trump
Trump.
times, but it
Yeah.
actually was presented prior to Trump times. So
Okay,
I
yes,
didn't know that.
he put
I
it
did
on
not.
Broadway because
yeah.
he didn't even know what the fuck it was. He was like, hey, this, I'm full for it. Like, fuck it,
Yeah, let's do the
But I
fact.
didn't really know
We're
what the
doing
fuck
the
it was.
fact.
But I'm for it. He's the one that first put it on Broadway. I would see because those that don't follow politics that closely, right?
Don't know that. This
Like
is true. This is
he
true.
was the one that first made it that kind of because remember, we were going through a lot of times and stuff,
Right.
So everybody's ear was to everything he said, and he
Yes.
was pretty much the first person, or pretty much, well, in my book, or in the world according to Smoke, and I live in a big world, damn it. But I'm just saying, that's the first time it seems like Trump was the one that put it on Broadway. So
I
I get
know
what
it
you're saying,
passed
Rick. I
last
get
year.
you. I copy. Yep.
Last year it passed under the
Dang it.
Biden administration. If it was made a holiday by Trump, I did not know that, but I know it passed through under Biden because it was just last year it became a federal holiday.
Here you go.
I know of people who were speaking on it back
Both
during the Obama administration.
Exactly.
We
Yes.
talked about
Oh,
it when I
really?
was at work,
Yes.
and
Yes.
people were like, "It'll never happen." I'm not gonna lie. Last year when that bill got passed, I texted that dude. I said, "That one thing you told me, it finally damn happened." And I got to listen to him and more of what he says because to see something come into a law that's just an idea is iconic and it is epic.
It is.
There was a
People don't
movement that
realize
was made for Juneteenth to be a holiday. A lot of us did not think that day was going to be possible. No, but they make it a federal fucking holiday, which is a major acknowledgement as much as many people minimize it. So, Rick, you might be right. I only know that it was approved and made into a holiday under Biden.
Well,
But
good. Listen, if Trump was still there, he would
like
went
I
all
said,
the way
I
through
don't remember
there.
when it happened. I don't remember it happening. So y'all please tell me. And what T. Roney just said tripped me out too. So I'm late. I stand corrected. You're right, but I remember Trump pushing for it. Okay, we're good. So we all.
Yeah.
You know how easy
Yeah.
that was, ladies and gentlemen. To all you broadcasters out there, you see how we had a little difference. We didn't argue. We just looked it up. We just researched it a little bit, and somebody came with information, and we cleared it all the way to hell up. Y'all need to take notes out there, man. Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Follow the damn show.
Yeah.
Flip that steak again, goddammit. Let's go. We flip steaks.
Turn that steak. That steak well done right now.
Steaks and all that. But yeah, I do remember Trump was the first person that actually put it out there during times where everybody was listening. So it became like, what is this? So yeah, copy. So yeah, so far, yeah, this is pretty this has been pretty interesting. Because I didn't want the answers to be
Big up to Rick Custom.
exposed up to the joint. Yeah. Big up, Rick, man. It's all entertainment, man. No hard feelings. You know how we get down.
Big up to Rick Custom. He don't
yes, sir.
curse.
So,
Hashtag he don't curse.
You really was. Okay, the first day was first recognized. Oh, we got some information on this?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Yes.
was first recognized as a federal holiday on the 21st. Joe Biden
In
signed
June
it.
2021, not the 21st.
Okay, copy. So that was that was like the year after Trump was talking about it, pretty much a year or so after he.
So let me defend something that he may have said that might have been correct. I don't think a lot of people acknowledge, and I need to re-verify this, but I do remember there was a time when it was said that the current president
Mhm.
pushes and approves and signs into law the proposals of the previous president.
Yeah, the stuff is on deck already. Yeah, those stuff are on deck.
Exactly.
And then this current president doesn't. I do remember hearing that. And
Yeah.
Rick, you funny. That's a good one. Shout out to Rick Costa one more damn time. We're gonna
Radio any goddamn way. Let's go. That's
That's right. That's
what I'm talking about.
Big up to Rick Costa.
His opinion, because in my opinion too, Trump was the first one that mentioned it. So I mean that he put it
You
on.
mentioned it, I missed it. So y'all straighten to me. I'll just all get out of the way. We got the holiday.
No,
We can
you
research it
are-
all we want, but it's in place. The original purpose of the holiday was to let people know who were free 2 years after it damn happened, because the people who were in charge didn't tell them what they monkey asses. And that's the shit that pisses us off. You can't tell us we don't afford this. You can't tell us we don't deserve that. You can't tell us we ain't supposed to have this, have that, when y'all did us that fucking way in the first damn place. And if I'm talking about you, or you think I'm talking about you, you must be at enough damn power to go ahead and make this shit happen. We need to know why in the fuck you won't. Because y'all know what y'all did.
And can I ask,
I know what
Yes.
you did.
what is the importance of who signed it into effect? Because it seems like the conversation is like, oh no, Biden did it. No, Trump.
That is what
Let me give a segue. Let me segue into that now.
Okay.
Let me segue into that. All right. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't want to have us all here forever because I know y'all got stuff to do, right? So check it out, right? Boom.
I ain't got to work on it.
A lot of time is, it is a holiday.
I got
No, it's
time.
so good. It's a holiday. You ain't got nothing else to do. You ain't got no gas. Come on, man. Y'all crazy. So check it out, right? All right. So because when you see the title, so if he came into the stream while we were in the flow, you see the title liberal. So when you say liberal, if you see the title in there, it kind of could throw somebody off a little bit.
Yes. Okay.
So so that's kind of I would assume that's where that came from on Rick's behalf. So the title is a little tricky, but it's just set to draw folks in an entertainment level. Of course, this is what we do over here. Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe.
All that.
Let's do what we do every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Boom. Let's hit one more for the road, man. Let's see what else here.
We got two more. We didn't talk about toxic.
We got a few. Chill, we're gonna save that for last. I want to save that for save a little toxic femininity because maybe we can get Kimmy back in here if she gets the recharge, so we could have like two sisters giving some in-depth female what do you call it?
How deep do you want this broadcast to go? You know I can start.
Not even. No, we're clowning. No. We just having fun with it. No, it's just we keeping it tight. We keeping it light. We keeping it light. Nah, we keeping it light because we know it's a holiday. We don't want to go too crazy. Big up to the power of the replay, man. Yeah, power of the replay because I know a lot of people doing their family thing today. So once again, happy Father's Day to all those in the audience. Happy Father's Day, Rick, if you're a father. Big up to the fathers, man. Fathers, stepfathers, father figures, uncles, big cousins, and all of that good shit. Give some love. All right. Let's hit one more. Climate change.
I've been hearing that since the 80s. Has to do with the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's
People think this is fake.
It's not fake. It's happening. Y'all better watch
listen, it's opinion. It's opinion radio now. So Tony D, give your opinion. Ronnie, give yours.
Okay, I'm
gonna take it. I gotta watch something real quick. Give me 1 second. Go ahead, continue, y'all. Take your time. Hold it down. 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Go for it.
Okay. T. Ronnie, ladies first.
Take a call real quick.
I feel like the whole idea of climate change, I don't feel like it's just terminology. It's a scientific word. You don't for the people who don't believe in God or theologies of whatever, they feel science and fact and they don't believe in liberal agendas. That's all well and good. But the term climate change is a scientific terminology. It's like saying DNA and RNA. You can call it by any other name. It still represents that segment or that thing that it does. It's a scientific terminology. That's how I feel. Okay, go ahead, Tony D.
Here's my thing. They've been talking about it since the 80s. It had to do with carbon dioxide in the atmosphere more than it was the oxygen in the atmosphere, and it was going to increase the heat, which was going to have an effect on any and everything that was going on in the air that we all breathe. We had to do something about it. Then we had the ozone layer issue, and then we had the issue with a hole being an ozone layer, and then ice packs melt. It was going to be some shit.
Yeah,
They've been talking about it. They've been trying to fight it. There's a very big. Y'all might want to look into this. And over time, as much as the climate is going to change, are we going to survive it? I don't
there's
think
no water
in
in the Midwest. Like the lakes are drying up.
Yeah, that's surprising me. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect the lakes drying like they did because the oceans are so damn high and the ice caps are melting, so there should be no lake drying.
Well, it exceeded because so the usage of the water, one, and then remember there's a lot of fires, brush fires, and what do you call those?
The wildfires in California.
Wildfires. You have a lot of those in those regions.
Yes.
So yeah, you're gonna run out of water, and we're running out of it quickly over there.
As big as that damn Pacific Ocean is, and the way we filter water, we ain't running out of no damn water. There's a whole lot of water out there.
Can't drink salt water.
No, you can. They filter
it.
But you got hurricanes, you got tornadoes. The hurricanes have been changing paths, and they've been talking about the HARP system up there in Alaska. That's a whole nother issue. You got stuff going on with the chemtrails and everything. That's a whole nother issue. Climate change has happened. They've been trying to work on fixing. I think some of the effects and some of the attempts that they made have backfired.
That's true.
Yeah, when the polar ice caps melt is when we really gonna have a damn problem because they melting. And half of y'all ain't gonna believe what's under them ice caps. To tell you that the Earth does rotate, that climate changes, and we've been on more than one place than we think that we know. Because I think we've been down there in Antarctica.
That's a whole.
All you YouTubers know I ain't lying. A bunch of you secret information holders know I ain't lying. They got shit built down there. They got shit built underground. They got
It could be complicated. It could be complicated, man.
33 degrees. Then when everything changes, you ain't gonna do it like this right here.
Yeah.
Boy, y'all better start thinking. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh gosh. Go turn that steak.
Shit. What if it's not? What if the planet is not really on an axis?
We wouldn't have gravity. There's a science.
Okay.
I mean, if we lost our axis, if we were not rotate, listen, we don't rotate on the axis. We don't have seasons. We don't have day and night.
Of the okay.
That's what popular science does say. Correct. You're absolutely correct. I was just saying, what if
around the sun is the seasons, right?
Okay.
Right. That's what science.
So you're spinning your finger around like we're spinning so fast that we feel like we're standing still. Correct. That's what popular science tells us, right? Because we're like spinning around on an axis.
So this is the Earth spinning on its axis. That's day and night. This don't look good either. I keep doing this.
No, I'm just watching the finger because I'm like watching you like spinning. I'm like, okay, we like a spinning top. Like, I'm just watching the demonstration. We just having some fun. We having fun with it. We have fun with it.
And then like this way, axis.
Clockwise, counterclockwise. Which way we going?
Right.
Okay. I'll buy that for $1. That's what they say. Hey, man. I just live here, man. I'm just visiting. When my time's done, I'm going.
What do I know?
Hey, man. Like I said,
somebody can look it up and tell me if that's fact, because I could be wrong about that.
Nah, hey, man. That's what I learned in school. So it said, what do you need special permission to go?
Why do you need special
Antarctica? You know why? Do you probably need real quick? Let's touch this real quick. Yes, why do you need special permission to go to Antarctica? That makes you go, maybe there's something there that they don't want you to see. That's my only thing. Like I would give, like, for example. So example, right? Say for example, you have a stash somewhere, right? And you live in a house with your wife and kids, and you say, "Hey, man, listen, man, don't ever go into my man cave when I'm not home. You lock the man cave up, right? You're not allowed to go in there. You know why? Because there's something that kids should not see in there, possibly." Maybe your firearm or something that's stashed in there. Maybe you have things that are adult material that you would not like children to be exposed to, or just personal items where you don't want kids playing around and knocking your damn stuff over. Knocking your stuff over. You understand? Breaking shit. Right? So you stay out of there because this is stuff for grown-ups. So I look at Antarctica like that because there's something clearly that they don't want you to know. That's why you're not allowed to go. How about that, right? Does that make sense?
That could,
We're not gonna let you go because we don't want you to see something and come back talking about it. God damn it! So just keep your ass
could be.
over here where we set you up inside of a boundary. You stay in the boundary. Only VIPs are allowed over here.
And Rick, to answer your question, for most people that don't know, some of the permission down there is for your own good. We can admit to it.
Hey,
As much as you
man.
want to know, and as much as maybe public information, some of what's down there is only for your own good that you do not be involved with. You may not want to be around because you may not make it back.
You can't handle the truth, goddamn it. It's not for everybody, man. That's why certain information is classified, right? That's why the governments are in conjunction. This is a treaty. The world governments are in conjunction with this, okay? Just for the record. So I don't want to, stay on this too long, but let's continue. Go ahead, Roni. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So it reminds me of the joke, back in our days, our parents, they used to make jokes back in the 60s, 70s that, white people, well, sorry, not white people, but certain people, certain
Go for it. It was their joke, not yours.
Well, they were planning to go to Mars so they can live and leave all of us here minorities on the planet because they just want to be so far. You remember? Do y'all remember that joke? I don't know. Well, I grew up with that kind of joke, but anyway. And it seems like now it's starting to happen, right?
Hey,
these billionaires are getting like their taste of colonizing or at least going into space in like, I guess, a VIP experience. That's only VIP experience, right?
Okay.
And so it's kind of like the Antarctica thing, right? Like it's only for certain people. It ain't gonna be the mass. Because really, that trip is not. It's expensive, but it's not that expensive. It's $200,000, right? That was like for one trip. I think one of them paid only $200,000 for that trip. And I mean,
what was that? To inner space to go up in the sky? Okay.
I thought the space trip was $20 million a pop.
20 million?
I guess it depends on.
Okay, let me look.
Maybe if that's if you're going under. It depends on what airline you're flying. God damn it, let's go. Depends on what airline. If you're flying SpaceX,
Antarctica is not a short trip. It's a long trip for people that's down there too. It's a lot of the Europeans that's down there, so that's not no short ride for them. The Arctic they can get to. The Antarctic is something else, but there is something down there. I've seen a lot on it. I haven't proven it. Y'all might want to watch Alien versus Predator a damn again. You might want to watch the X-Files a damn again. I'm just saying,
man.
I'm just saying.
We can't list those things, but we can't list those. Listen, real quick though, we can't list the X-Files.
Where did he go?
What happened? Did he drop?
Yes,
we got him. Yeah. Believe what you want to believe. The information that is out there may be true and it may be false. I said that earlier and I meant it, but honestly, a lot of what they used to tell us back in the day is happening now. I don't know if they're using that information against us to play with our minds, but some things may have been known, some things may have been seen. All you Family Guy and Simpsons fans sit back and watch everything happen off of those cartoons, so don't discredit the shit that I watch.
What is the space guys? James Earl Jones, right? The space guys in The Simpsons.
Which one?
In The Simpsons, they have these space guys, and it's voiced by James. One of the space guys is voiced by James Earl Jones.
Really?
And, yes. It's
Star Wars, Star Trek. Battlestar. I mean, how much time we got? You know what I'm saying?
Star.
Flash Gordon.
Rick Costa said the thing, but I was thinking when I was talking about space, what's that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Total Recall.
Yep, Total Recall.
Oh yeah, you might want to watch End of Days too. Sorry.
We'll put it like this. It's a debate, so I don't want to get too far off of it. But let me just end this off real quick with this, because that's another topic. That's a very interesting topic. Whether there's something beyond the limits that have been set up by government, to where X amount of folks have thing also. And also you got to remember, like the trillionaires, billionaires, remember you got people riding around the world in $70 million boats, right? $70-80 million boats, like the Russian oligarchs, for example. They said they tried to seize the boat from them, this, that, and the other. They're going that way. You got to realize, even those people are not even privy to what happens on the other side of these things. They just like shit, man. They just sailing around in a circle.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you just sailing around in a circle. You're not even privy to the other side. So there's limits to this. And there's levels to this, so I just want to leave it at that.
Dick Gregory. I did a video show with Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory said it best. If you don't know people with trillions in the bank, trillions with a T, you mad at the wrong people. Everybody needs to stop right down there. Everybody stop
Yeah.
right there.
They're not even privy to that. Like I
You
said,
met the wrong folks. If you don't know anybody with trillions in the bank, not millions,
Right.
not billions, not 100,000s, trillions. That's what the T.
just
Can
right.
I wrap it around?
Go for it.
If
Go for it
those
real quick.
people
Go
would
for it.
not be trillionaires, or if we had socialism, proper socialist things that work, so we could all be millionaires at least.
You got a chance.
Get a chance, right? Get a taste.
You got a chance.
The distribution of wealth was equal.
Yes, that's gotten brought up more than once on a couple of broadcasts I've had. That's been brought up a lot.
If you flip that steak one more time, I'm gonna break into your house and come eat it.
That steak is done.
Hold on, because see, y'all gonna have to. Let me go ahead.
Oh no, you don't. Oh no, you don't, Jack.
You see the document?
What are you cooking it on? Super slow?
What
What are we cooking it on?
that bad boy. Wait, let me get it right on the camera.
I see it's big. I see. No, I see you. I got you, Playboy. I got you. I was just like
all the way through. All the way
I got you, man.
Gosh, you can't cook it all the way through. You gotta let it sit.
And then it's gonna thing it exactly.
You couldn't dry it out.
Listen, man, you're gonna turn this into a rubber band, but let's continue, yo. So check it out. So we got let's see what else we got. All right, let's try this one. Let's try hold on. This was a little off the book. We're gonna do that last. Let's do one more before we do that then. So let's hit let's see. Victim blaming. Okay.
When has that terminology come in? Right, hold on. That's
pull it up. Let's see. Victim blaming.
Okay.
I need the definition of it, honestly.
Oh, hold on. Definition. The assigning of responsibility for harm, injury, or other misfortune to the person who suffered it.
What year did this word come
out? It's a
noun.
Hold on.
Does this have a year attached to it? Because we want this to qualify for the New American Liberal Encyclopedia. Okay? You have to have a year attached to it. It has to be new enough to be eligible for us to put this in. Okay?
Okay, victim blaming. Coining phrase. Okay, Wikipedia states psychologist William Ryan coined the phrase blaming the victim in his 1971 book of that title. So there's a book called Blaming the Victim.
Okay.
In the book,
he was an author.
Yeah, he described victim blaming as an ideology used to justify racism and social injustice against Black people in the United States. I'm reading some more, trying to get to.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time. Take your time. It's interesting. This is interesting right here. Very interesting.
Yeah, because I didn't realize it stems from that. That's interesting.
So that's where it originated from, because now it seems to have a totally different meaning somewhat.
Yes. Moynihan had concluded that 3 centuries of oppression of Black people, and in particular what he calls uniquely cruel structure of American slavery, as opposed to its Latin counterparts, had created a long series of chaotic disruptions within the Black structure at the time of the report, manifested itself in high rates of unwed births, absent fathers, and single mothers households in Black families. So it actually came. Okay. Wow, that's
pretty
interesting.
I never looked at it. I never knew it was termed that way and phrased in that specification, if you will.
Although Ryan popularized the phrase,
or any wrongful act is held entirely or partially at fault.
I'm gonna get to that, Tony D. Hold on. Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Ronnie. Finish your point. I'm gonna get to that, T. I'm sorry. I brought it up a little too early. My bad.
Popularized the phrase. Other scholars had identified the phenomenon of victim blaming. In 1947, Theodore W. Adamo defined what will be later called blaming the victim as one of the most sinister features of a fascist character.
Stop right there. Okay. Thank you very much for that information right there, T. Okay. Because I'm sure there's a lot to unpack over there. So we're gonna just kind of So for example, so that's pretty much the origins of where that came from. Okay. So now let's look at the new version. Okay. So now we have victim blaming occurs when a victim of a crime. Okay. Because we're gonna start with the first, like when these things come off, the top one is the most recent addition to the you understand what I'm saying? To the pile. So we're gonna say right here at the top of the pile.
Yes.
There you go. Current usage rate. Boom. Victim blaming occurs when the victim of a crime or any wrongful act is held entirely or partially at fault for the harm that befell them. Okay. So that's the new version right now. Okay.
And people, this is another case of people using the terminology however they feel and using it in an antagonizing way to turn it and twist it and manipulate it to fit their own agendas. Sorry.
Based on that definition, that's exactly what I see.
I'm not sorry. This is opinion radio, damn it.
Based on that definition, that's exactly what I see. Honestly, if you are ever convicted of a crime in court that you had nothing to do with, that can be used against you.
That's true.
That's what I'm seeing in it. That's exactly what I'm seeing in it. If you was there and you put yourself in a situation, it's your fault. That's victim blaming, and that's bullshit.
Yes.
I don't like that term no more. You see what I'm saying, though, right? It's your fault that the crime happened to you. What? We had a discussion on that. It's never your fault. They will say that, but we don't defend that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't defend that. If something wrong happened, I hate this word. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If you are R, which is that is not your fault. That is not. It is specified. The minute a woman says no, stop. The minute a man says no, stop. It ain't your fault. You can
but this applies to all crimes.
Yes, it applies to all crimes.
Robbery.
I'm thinking on the criminal aspect. I'm thinking on the accusation aspect.
Copy.
If somebody attacks you and you didn't provoke it, that's not your fault. If y'all get in a fight and you lose, okay. But a victim, if you die, if somebody killed you, you didn't see it. That is not your fault. If y'all had a violent fight and you died from the fight, that's entirely different. See, there has to be an amicability in the conflict or even the confrontation or between the two people. If you were blindsided, and I can see them using that definitions, that's a scapegoat definition for a lot of cases. I can see that.
A lot of gray area.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what's important about what Rick.
Go ahead, Mommy. Go for it.
How we're using the terminology, we're saying that a person is victim blaming, but the definition here does not specify a person.
No, it does not.
Saying that the incident has befallen on the victim. So in my head right away, I'm sorry for saying this, I'm thinking Tawana Brawley, right? Where no justice came for Tawana. Oh, I'm thinking those 5 that were in prison for the
Central
Park, right? So they were blamed for it's like I got pointed out for a crime I did not commit. It is not stating, like I'm reading the definition, when the victim of the crime is wrongly held, not that a person is blaming the victim of the crime.
Exactly. But it seems like we get a chance to twist shit up nowadays. Like we get to take it and we give it a whole new definition. So that's what this is all about. This is the new liberal encyclopedia, baby. Let's go. Because we can take shit that's already been established. And that's the whole concept of how I wanted you guys to look up certain stuff and see where we're at with it. Because I just wanted to prove a point. Right. Whether people that are watching to understand, whether they're just like don't get it. Because the information is not for everybody. Some people can't think outside the box. You know, and this is what I consider outside the box thinking. How we could take something that's established on convenience, give it a little twist, relabel it, repackage it, add a prefix or suffix to it, turn it into some next shit.
They are that. That's the truth.
Yes.
And shaboot bop bang, here we got new shit.
Right?
We got all new shit now.
And now it's an urban dictionary.
Now we got new words. All right. So that was kind of like the concept of this. This was fun, man. This was fun. I really appreciate you guys for pulling up and participating in this and having quick fingers to pat to pull this stuff up, you know, because me personally, I ain't got the time for all that shit. I'm just like, you know what, man? I think it's some bullshit half of the time, but I'm just like, we just gonna just let it be what it be. You know what
The
I'm
biggest thing
saying?
is we try to see where people are coming from. We try to understand what's being said and what's being told as we're amongst different broadcasters. I don't think that's
Facts.
too much of a damn issue. And we didn't put nobody on blast. The only time I put you on blast is when you try to use it against somebody. I got a problem with that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We missed two
Mm.
terms. Actually, T. Roney had a term. I had one. I'm going to wait. I had one. Because as we're looking all this up, and I go back through a lot of the broadcasts that I hear and some of the rhetorical terms that are used against people as to why they are not associated with each other, why they don't follow each other, why they don't deal with each other. Some of these terms were coming to my head. I try to keep some of that stuff out of there, but some of them started coming back. I.e., she said female masculinity. I would love to look that up one day. I would also like to look up rape apologetic, because when I heard it, I couldn't find a definition.
That's one of the new that's also, we can throw that in there. We can throw that under there in the new
I didn't
dictionary.
see a
You want
definition.
to touch the
look it up.
but fuck it, let it be the definition that the dude that made the shit up. Let
You
it be
say
whatever
rape
the fuck
rape
definition he wants it to be, right?
I did not see a definition of that. I'm gonna look right now. I'm going to now.
And you know what? I wouldn't even bother. Let's
No,
get to the
no.
female let's get to the toxic femininity. I forgot, Roni. I'm sorry about that. Once you said, I'm sorry about that.
No,
let
it's
me
okay.
let me touch that. And I'm sorry, T Roni.
Do you want me to look that up? Female
Yeah, let's hit that,
Wait,
because I promised we would do that
toxic
before. And then
feminism?
if we got time, we'll get to the other shit. Toxic femininity.
It's
That
on
may not be
toxic-
listed. I really doubt that will be listed.
Yep, it says so. Toxic
Let's get it.
femininity. Okay, let me go to definitions. Toxic femininity is a broad term that refers to a rigid and repressive definition of womanhood, including pressures women face to restrict themselves to stereotypical feminine traits and characteristics.
Okay. That's it.
No, there's. I'm trying to find.
Oh, take your time. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. I'm still kind of like unpacking.
Female
Yeah.
masculinity, I think it was.
No, toxic femininity.
Toxic femininity.
Let me
Okay,
do
sorry.
toxic feminism.
Well, feminism is toxic. I'm just saying. I'm joking. I'm just saying no, femininity toxic, because I just wanted to go with the opposite of the masculinity. So masculinity is certain things that are associated with masculine, like masculine traits, right?
Oh, here's a
And
good
it
one.
could be deemed as toxic if I don't like what masculine people do. So I'm trying to figure out, is toxic femininity? Go for it, Roni. You know where I'm leaning.
What is toxic feminism? It is a tool some feminists have begun to use as a way to beat down others because of what they are wearing, saying, doing, or sometimes even thinking is offensive to them and marginalizes women in these particular feminist eyes. This is let me see who wrote this, because it's a female. Okay, a female.
I see that. I see that a lot in society. I've seen it over the past decade. Now that you mention it, by that definition, I've seen a lot of that over the past decade alone.
Okay, and that's toxic feminism.
So they use a definition of a guy wearing a shirt, and a few of the women in the audience felt that his shirt depicted was sexist and portrayed women as objects. So he had
his shirt was sexist.
So I'm just okay.
Maybe it has some pictures, some provocative photographs on his picture. He has some provocative on the t-shirt.
No, my next question. Yes.
Go ahead.
So
continue.
He had women on his shirt is picked his shirt, and there's like images of women in like sexy poses.
Okay.
But it's not really showing the female.
The silhouette shit, like the shapes of the naked ladies or something.
No genitals were exposed. No genitalia.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it. Let us see.
You put it up, and he's got to share it. When you put it up there,
yeah, you put it up. Just put it up there, and I'll pick it up from there.
Okay.
All right. Finish it. Ready?
You see it?
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. It should be backstage.
I see you. Bam. I can't really see the shirt. Oh, I see. It has some women. It's like a cartoon. It's not even really photographed. It's like cartoon pictures of women in. Hold on.
Scantily clad women is what that would be. It's probably classified as scantily clad.
Kind of boudoir, kind of.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
It's like a picture shirt kind of thing.
That's not bad. Yes. No, they're
dressed. So apparently, some women.
It's always remember. It's subject to opinion. Continue, Roni. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Some people were offended.
Taylor was made to feel so upset by the news surrounding his shirt and the fact that he may have offended someone that he gave a tearful apology at a later briefing. Even though he apologized, admitted a wrong, there was nothing wrong with the shirt. They feel like the woman who made a scene was just offended. It's kind of like a Karen. Like this is toxic femininities are Karens.
You had the nerve to have a shirt on that has drawings of women that are fully clothed,
And
but they're
women,
clothed
someone
with the
who are
but
offended.
the I can see her back in that
Well,
picture. Like, she
do
has a
you
low
wear a shirt
gaping
like
dress.
this to work? You can't wear a shirt like this to
I
work.
don't know where he was, and I'm not defending
He's an
anything. I could care
astrophysicist.
less, actually.
It says he's
Astrophysics.
an astrophysicist that
He's a
works for the
smart guy.
European Space Agency.
Smart guy.
You could
Smart
wear
guy.
what
He
they
should have
had on
known.
work. If that was like, and I'll be honest,
Listen,
if
not
they
when
wore
Cameron
that
worked there.
without
God
any
damn it.
undergarments, if they wore that without any undergarments, you will see more, if you will. They're sort of like thin summer dresses. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it's a shirt. God damn it. We're not
I
talking
know.
about if the women were wearing it. I'm just saying this pictures of women in summer dresses with low cut gaping backs.
Gaping.
Like, come on, man. Like you got that little low swooping. Did I say gaping? I meant swooping. Whatever
It's
the hell you call it. You
boudoir.
know
You
them.
have like a corset on.
Yeah, whatever the fuck you call it. Yeah, that. I'm not really into the fashion for the women like that. They just, when you pull up, they just the clothes are already set. They just so you get dressed and go. Anyway, yeah. So that's pretty interesting. So toxic, so the toxic femininity part, right, was saying that there were pressures. Could you pull that back up one more time? Because we covered. All right, so we covered that one half. I just wanted to make sure we brushed over that real quick. Toxic femininity. So we could see, like, is it like she's so
Okay,
feminine is toxic?
here's another definition for you that you're gonna like, Ace.
Let's do it.
Oh boy, here we go. I can't believe I'm reading this, but it's out
Go
there on
for
the
it.
internet.
I'll keep it nice. I won't go too crazy.
The belief that toxic feminism is the belief that women should always be higher up than men,
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty
often
toxic.
backed with physical or verbal abuse towards the other gender. And
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
So toxic feminism is the belief that women should be always higher up than men, often backed with physical or verbal abuse towards other gender.
There's a lot of that.
Okay.
And it does say, as part of this definition, it is not to be confused with feminism.
There you go. I understand it's separate because just like, let me ask you one quick question, real quick, Tone, real quick, right? Because I know we've been on for a second. Check it out. I would like to say, right, being that it's not, right, connected to feminism, correct?
Correct.
Because remember, there's been a prefix attached to it.
Yes.
Toxic has been put on front of the motherfucker. Okay. Am I right or not?
Yeah.
It had a prefix put on it. But we made it clearly our point to say, hey man, but this is not feminism. But I didn't see a point on the other end that said, hey man, hey, but this is not masculinity, man. There's a difference between the toxic shit and the regular shit.
That's
all right.
true.
So let's not get that fucked up. All right.
Yes.
I just wanted to lay that out there. All right. So that alone right there shows a little bias in the game. But I'm just saying, because if feminism can still exist and not all of it is toxic, we want masculinity to still exist because not all of it is
And not
toxic.
all of it's toxic.
Okay.
No,
Because remember,
there's
men
no
and women are
mutual
equal
respect
now. We in America. Everything
Yes,
is
there has to
equal.
be a mutual respect between the two with all absolution. You damn right.
Fact. So once you put the prefix on it, then it's negative, right? So masculinity doesn't have it can't stand alone anymore because now there's a permanent toxic attached to the front of it. But femininity can stand alone. Feminism can stand alone without a toxic. Because remember, we separating the toxic from this, man.
Yes.
So that's just one to grow on. No disrespect. I'm just keeping it gangster, doing what it do, pointing out what it
These
is.
terms are used a lot on social media. There is no
For sure.
These terms are used a lot. So any
It's all new shit,
shots
man.
felt that are felt must be you as you've done it.
Hey, man.
And I'm saying that to anybody who would be offended or who would say something about it. Any aspect of these that would offend you, or say you specify what your definition of it was. Okay, cool. We broke down where it came from. We broke down the origins as much as possible. We also referred the resources to it. Go from there. That's it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ronnie. You got more. See, she's in this shit. Go for it.
Oh, you found it. You found
You
it.
found it.
I was gonna wait.
Let's
till
do
you
the
finish.
bonus. Hold on. Where's the bonus? God damn, I lost the. Hold on. Let me do a quick promo. We're gonna take a second and go into this. This is gonna be the bonus. We're gonna take a sort of pause for the promo.
So I'm gonna keep using smoke. And my podcast is not called a smoke show. My Tuesday show is called the Sunday Night Smoke Show. That show that we talk about.
Okay. We just had to. We had to take a quick second and pause for station identification. Big up to StreamYard. Big up to YouTube. We're going exclusive YouTube on Sunday nights. Okay, Twitch. We're gonna give you secondhand smoke. We'll get you the We're gonna do the shorts on Twitch now. Okay. Big up Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, continue. Let's look up the.
Let me just joke on this promo real quick.
Go for it.
My Tuesday night show is called Sunday Night Smoke. Can somebody drop a Bible on that? My Tuesday night show is called Sunday Night Smoke. All right. Okay.
Secondhand smoke will leave you high for days. It'll stay in your system at least 2 days, obviously.
I just caught that too.
If you think it's shit, if you think it's Sunday and it's Tuesday, you all jacked up. Oh man. If he flips that steak one more time.
I'm going to trust me. I got about.
Good Lord.
You still cooking. Okay, let me read this definition first.
Go for it. Let's rush it up.
Why he's still cooking that steak?
Shout it out.
Rape apologism is when someone says that.
Wait, time out. Apologism. So it was being pronounced wrong.
Yes.
Okay, so number one, we got it. We were looking for the wrong shit because the guy that
I gotta get on this.
Go for it.
Was rape apologetic specifically.
Well, he had it wrong.
Let me look up.
It depends on what your meth level is. Go for it.
Now, T-Roney, when I looked it up, you got to go down to the bottom of that first page, and it is on atheistforums.org. That's the first definition I saw.
What do you see in the same thing? What you got in front of you, Ronnie? Go for what you see. Go for what you see, and then Tony D, go for what you got. All right, so go for both.
Lib.com, and I see Urban Dictionary, and I see Rational Wiki.
Go for the first one you see. Go for the first one you see.
The first one that I was going to read, which is
and what's the proper pronunciation, please?
Lib.com, libcom.org.
I got you.
Wait, what is rape apologism? And I'm reading the second paragraph.
So it's apologism, not apologetics. L. Ron Hubbard, Dianetics. Goofy motherfucker. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's when someone says that rape isn't really rape, or that rape is not really that bad, or makes an unfounded claim that allegations of rape are untrue, or claims that rape allegations in general are often untrue and should not be taken seriously.
Okay, there you go. Okay. We usually refrain from using that word here. We call it sexual assault, but it doesn't matter. No, it's fine because we demand nope. Because the word was quoted and we had to use it for content, and that's fair use. We had to use that for educational purposes. So she actually gave us the definition. Don't worry.
Anyone.
No, it's not. The word is not offensive. Shit, you ain't doing it. Come on, man. You're apologetics now. Because you said the word. I'm joking.
Going back to what we were saying about trigger words.
Copy. Don't worry about it.
We have words that have definitions and meanings behind them, and we use them as tools to scandalize, slanderize other people. We are using these terminologies not in their proper form. If we are using, I mean, I don't use this terminology, obviously, and never. I don't think I've ever used this terminology, but
if you're gonna let me just interrupt real quick. If you're gonna use these terms and this terminology to slander folks, at least read the fucking pronunciation, man. If you're gonna put this in your vocabulary and go on the campaign, get the fucking pronunciation right, dog. This is crazy. Anyway, let's go on.
So if you're saying a person is an apologist, right, versus the apology. So because the apology is the idea, And now
Oh,
you've
shit.
taken that idea and you've assigned it to someone.
Yeah, like a
When you
label,
put
like the
teachers, when you
prefix.
right, you labeled someone when you call them apologist. So now it becomes that person is responsible now for everything that this definition implies. That's that's really intense.
It is some shit. I'm just saying. I mean, that's why the response was the way it was, but it was cool though because what I'm saying. It was just a review, man. So we just let people work their way into what they work their way into, and we just work their ass out. Sunday night
For,
smoke. Like,
for,
share, subscribe.
Shout
Let's
out to
go.
Rick Costa.
for
I'm
Tony,
missing that
charred
charge.
meat can be hazardous to your health because burnt meat contains potentially cancer-causing substances.
He's
Yeah.
not cooking it on a high flame. He's cooking it very, very slow, apparently.
Oh,
It's
really?
been an hour and 40 minutes.
Tell Brian, it's like it's in a smoker. He's smoking it on the stove.
Dude, he even got it. He
Okay.
even got it covered.
Hey, man, listen. It's Father's Day.
His father's
Shout out to the
saying,
fathers again, man. Let this man enjoy. He know how to cook his steak. He know what he doing. Then
You know,
Look at me.
just for the
That's
record,
the-
we're gonna criticize it. We're gonna bark on his because we all like our own steak a certain way, man. I can't
smell
front.
the
We
steak.
all like it a certain way. I don't really do the red meat too often like that, but so
I'm
we just gonna let him.
I
We're gonna let
smell
him.
it.
You smell it?
From Georgia, from wherever you are.
Does he have onions on it? No,
No, it's
I
just
don't
the
know.
meat. The meat is just the meat right now. It's just the meat.
Just going slow.
That's what she said.
In about another hour, he'll add the onions. Yo, listen, I'm gonna catch y'all on IG Live, man. We're gonna be on IG Live, and he's just gonna be getting to the onion.
Look at that.
Yo,
bad
big
boy.
up, big up to the onions, man. Hold on, let me put that up big. Wait, let me put that up big. Hold on, hold it up again. Give me one more shot. Don't drop it.
Yes, that looks perfect.
See?
No, it doesn't. It's not done.
Nah, it's not done enough for him. See, he wants a little. Look, just cover it. Cover it. Let it finish cooking for a few. Just cover it. Let it finish cooking. It's gonna cook for a few more minutes.
Cut it up a little bit. Flip it.
Oh, Jesus, he gonna flip it again. Shout out to Rick Costa, man. Flip that steak,
You're
man.
cutting it.
Don't let the juice run out, man.
What's the guy? Hell's Kitchen. What's his name? Hell's Kitchen. I'm calling
what's
that
that?
guy from Hell's Kitchen.
Gordon Ramsay? No. Is it Gordon
Gordon
Yeah,
Ramsay.
Ramsay,
I'm
the
calling
Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Calling Chef Ramsay on you, man. Like, don't let the juice run out. Don't let that.
Cut it and then put it back on.
OG
Don't let-
Classic in the house.
Don't let that juice run out, man. He said, "I make it." Don't let that juice run out, man. You made it right at the end. There you go, Chef Gordon. OG Classic in the house. What up? You pulled up just in time, just to let us know it was Chef Gordon in the house. Happy Father's Day to all the OGs, the fathers, the uncles, all of that, the father figures, the stepdaddies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of that.
Older cousins, older brothers.
We're gonna wrap this up though, real quick. We're gonna let Tony D work that steak. T-Roni, let's start with. Well, let me let him finish. Let me flip it. Let him flip it. T-Roni, what you got us in closing? Just in general on the New American Liberal Dictionary Encyclopedia edition. I know I added a
think
few
any
words,
word
but
that
fuck
you
it.
use to label group of people is wrong. So just be careful how you use terminologies. If you're using them to hurt, then I don't know. That's rough. I mean, everybody's free to do what they want anyway. But just at least find, if you're going to use a terminology, just find out the etymology of the word. Don't just go using it because you feel like it's something fancy to cut at somebody's emotional how they are. Yes. So anyway, I'm T-Roni Robinson. I can be found on Insta, T-Roni Trinkets, and Twitter at T-Roni Robinson, and Twitch as Team Roni Rob, and Pinterest as T-Roni Robinson.
There was something else out there too. What else? You got to be forgetting one.
YouTube, T-Roni Robinson on YouTube, Bling and Rock.
Let's go, baby. I like to set it right here because it looked like we have a smoke book.
I do. Yeah, that's
foodie
cool.
book, and then we got a cookbook on the far right hand side. Tony D, give us your shout out for the road, man.
Man, how much time I got right now? Lord have mercy. Yours truly. You'll find me on the Sunday Night Smoke podcast. Hang out with my homeboy one time. Appreciate the invite as always. You can find me with T-Roni when she broadcasts with the Sunday Night Smoke podcast. Holler with my homies. Y'all know, get at me. We used to be on Haps. Haps ain't no more. I'm on airtime.com. I'm on Twitter, TONYTON163. I'm on Instagram, TONYTON72. I'm on Twitch, TONYTON72. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I have finally broken an oath against myself. I am on TikTok, TONYTON19723. I was actually come up there with Michael Bathurst and Nonsensical. They said, listen, we get up there, we'll increase the audience. I didn't want to get on TikTok for the trolling. I wanted to go up there with a purpose. So for the purpose of broadcasting with people who frequently have me on their broadcast, shout out to the Nonsensical Nonsense podcast. Big ups to Michael Bathurst for always want me on. We was on Haps. I'm up there with them. Y'all can see me on Late Night Parents with Ted Hicks. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. Follow T-Roni Trinkets. She be doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. She be doing all that. She does the Rocky Horror Picture Show all the time. She's always on Instagram. If y'all ain't following her, it's your own damn fault. Follow any and everybody who has a show, who has a podcast, who broadcasts, who wants to do something, not just necessarily hanging out, but we're trying to have a purpose. And every time we do discussions like this, and every time we do a broadcast like this, I talk with any and everybody. I'll probably be on Twitter Spaces sometime soon. I still got to finish my gun laws broadcast. I'm going to be everywhere. Y'all find me. Find me through Sunday Night Smoke podcast. Find me through Late Night Parents. T-Roni Trinkets got her show. She be over there acting, and she all over the country. She be having shows and all that. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing her. Y'all holler at you, man.
Big up. Tony B. Find him also a Nonsensical Nonsense podcast. All right. Big up to Nonsensical Nonsense.
Happy Father's Day, Ted Hicks.
Happy Father's Day.
My fellow fathers out there, for real.
Enjoy. Keep it safe. Enjoy, man. We get this one day. Enjoy this day, man. Salute the fathers. Big up to all the fathers, man. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it strong. Let's keep up doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep doing what we're doing, man. We gotta we really important to society, man.
You men giving yourselves a platform to have real discussions and hearing your opinions on things and coming to common sense to where at the end of the day we all just, it's all about love and it's clean radio. So I appreciate you, Ace World, 1,000% for even giving us this platform.
All love. I appreciate the two of y'all 1,000% for helping me hold it down up here. You heard? It's all love. So on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Like I say, please, all the fathers out there, enjoy. Have a safe evening. Enjoy once again. Enjoy those that have the day off tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Please like, share, subscribe. Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. We are also on Instagram at Sunday Night Smoke Podcast, Blog Talk Radio, Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. All the same game, and the name don't change. For those that don't know, the smoke ain't no joke. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. Where there's fire, there'll always be some kind of smoke, baby. Let's take us out with another promo here or there.
Shout out to OG Classic. Shout out to Rick Costa for rolling through. Holler at your boy always. We'll be up soon. I got time this weekend.
Let's do it, baby.
Oh, come on, Slam. No wonder why I blocked you. That's absolute insanity.
Let's go, baby. Like a xylophone or something on that beat. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of late, but just, that's how we do it.
Oh, you like OG Classic.
Man, get that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, man. Let's get them subscribers up. Let's get it in, man.
Oh, look at that.
Time to eat.
Tom didn't put the onions in yet.
Not yet.
We'll catch the onions on Instagram Live, y'all.
And my podcast is not called a smoke show. My Tuesday show is called the Sunday Night Smoke. That show that we talk about.
Carry y'all.
Peace.